Hey folks, Blair from Nose Creek Sport Physiotherapy. So today's topic of the day is hip and knee stretches. I was just doing a virtual treatment with one of my loyal patients, and she was actually a neck patient, but she called me up for a virtual session, and she said, Blair, I've been sitting doing all these Zoom videos and my hips and my lower back are starting to really bug me. So I said, well, the best thing to do is let's get going with some flexibility stretches for your hips and your knees and get you walking a little bit more if we can to decompress your back. So today we're gonna go through the 5 stretches that you can do for your hips and your knees. So there's 3 for the knees and 2 for the hips, okay? We'll start in standing. So the first one's just a calf stretch. So you're gonna go up against a wall, 1 foot forward, 1 back, okay? And then what you're gonna do is lean forward so you get a strong stretch in your calf muscle. Can you see there? Okay, good. So there's the stretch there. Hold for 20 seconds. And again, repeat if you can. 2 times if it's tight is my general rule. So that's the calf stretch. Okay, the next one is for your quadriceps. So again, you're one hand on the wall, okay? You're gonna grab your foot, knees together, and you get a little bit of a pelvic tilt, so kind of tuck your tail under. That'll shoot your knee forward. Then you want to pull the knee back, knees together, and then heel right to your butt. And you should feel a really strong stretch right in the front of your thigh and kind of the outside of your thigh, okay? So it's your quadricep stretch for that muscle right there in the front. And then the hip flexor, because when you're sitting, your hip flexor is in a shortened position, we want to lengthen that back out as well. So it's 1 foot forward, 1 back. We're going to bend both knees, so we kind of hunker down so the back heel comes off the floor. And then again, it's pelvic tilt. So as you tilt, you should feel a bit of a stretch here. You're engaging that stretch in the front of the hip. Then you lunge forwards 2 inches. Squeeze that cheek. So stick your thumb in that cheek to make sure you're getting a good strong stretch in the front. And then thumb up and just stretch back. So that'll kind of straighten you up a little bit. You should feel a massive stretch right in the front of that hip in here, okay? And again, you want to hold for 20 to 30 seconds. So you can do those 3 in standing. The 2 you want to do in your back are just simply laying down on your back. You're going to grab your knee, grab with the same hand, so left knee, left hand, pull towards your opposite right shoulder. So across to the hip kind of stops. Take your opposite hand, grab just above your ankle, and then pull up. And you should feel a massive stretch in the back of your hip. Because when we sit, our knees tend to go apart when the hips relax. We get really tight in the back and the sides of our hip as well, okay? So that's your stretch for the back of the hip. And then the next one is for your hamstring. So a lot of my patients have had previous back injuries, so I don't advocate bending over to kind of stretch your hamstrings that way. Lay down, support your back, and simply straighten your leg out. So you get a strong stretch in the back of the knee and then down into your hamstring. Okay, and you can even floss this out here by just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And do that about 10 times. Do that sort of 10 times, that puts that hamstring on stretch for a good 30 seconds. Okay, and just nice and slow like that. And you'll floss that sciatic nerve through that tight hamstring. And then you can just switch. And always make sure you do both legs. So just nice and slow, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? There you go. So there's 5 solid stretches that are gonna loosen up those hips and knees, and try to go for a little bit of a walk if you can, so you feel like you got a bit of a sweat going before you stretch, because you're gonna be more elastic and you're gonna stretch better if you're heated up, okay? There you go. So let's get going on those stretches between those Zoom meetings if you can. Try to incorporate a bit of walking before the stretching. Take care. Blair Schachterle from Nose Creek Sport Physiotherapy, where we get you moving faster and feeling better. Take care. Bye-bye.